There are no crises based on instability in Delta state chapters. That's what I mean. There are things that are led based on decisions taken by the leaders. That's the point I'm making. That it is not that the foundation is weak in those places. Like if you see people defect in a particular state because there's crisis in that state, and members of the state don't want to work together anymore. Where you're seeing defections based on leaders for what reason best known to them, it's top down, not, and that's why you're seeing in some states the leaders are saying we're going, and you're seeing some of the grassroots members say, look, I've been PDP all my life. I've been PDP for 10, 20 years. I don't understand what you're saying. But out of the politics that there's deference to our leaders, some are going. But you're still hearing rumblings where people say, look, our leaders want us to go. Why? We've been PDP, or PDP has done so much for us in our state. As you said, PDP has impacted on the economy, PDP has impacted on some of the things we've seen. So I don't know why we're going, but they are leaders. So we go. That's what I mean by it's top, bottom as opposed to bottom up.
Well, you have a point there, although to some extent, or some would say considerable extent, a lot of the people who are defecting en masse. I mean, they tend to be the majority, the defectors, and then those who stay back are in the minority.
As of today, as you all know, we're 2 years, still a long way before election.
You expect them to defect back to the PDP?
Might not be probably defect, but there's still some things that are going to happen in a lot of the states before that.
Right.
That's our view, and that's why for some of us, this happening early in PDP is an advantage. If we're lucky that this is not happening in, let's say, late 2026, we will not even have had time to recover, regroup. We have 2 years to election, just under 2 years to election, and we're lucky to have that. And I think we are with a lot of commitment and a lot of understanding for us to understand that, look, it is not a lost cause. A party of over 26 years of history, who has been around, as you said, largest party. Yes, we will definitely have low times like this. All over the world, when you study political histories, political parties go through periods like this. They lose 2 elections back to back, and people begin to question the party. But people don't abandon the party.
But that's what they're doing.
But that's some of them say, no, it's not time for us to abandon. Or people say, oh, PDP is dead. No, it's not. We are the people that need to work hard and rebuild. It is not impossible. History has shown political parties have come up from having those kind of challenges. And when you're in opposition,
it is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian. It is smoke Igbo. It is take Indian.
Sarakonda, it was neither here nor there, but his own point as an experienced politician is that indeed they have problems, and maybe everybody that wants to go should just go, so they can count how many people remain and then maybe regroup. But PDP is dead. PDP can never have access to power in that contraption anymore. Do you understand? Or maybe they will change their name. I am saying this simply because when you look at the characters that sort of like populate their party, right from the days of Obankparo, right? So the old man, it's always been selfish, self-centeredness, and then greed, right? And it seems that majority of them sees the PDP as, a means to an end where they could access power and to move on. So it is what it has become, and it is what it will remain as. APC's implosion is because they are still having access to, to the people's money. The moment their own implosion happens now, it's going to, in fact, be worse than that of the PDP. The end of APC, Egbekegbe, if care is not taken, it will also be the end of Nigeria. I have my reasons. Because you see, these ones in APC, their own greed and their own way is, if they can't have it, then nobody should have it. I have seen people say, you see all these things, it is because the people are not organized, the people are not united yet. The day that the people find something that will eventually make them say, enough is enough, this tribal, ethnic, religious, this and that, will not be enough to hold them back. Well, that is promising. I've heard that many times. And to be honest, I am also hopeful for that. But until then, you will realize that, or maybe, when the people's interest indeed clashes with their own interest, and of course, the people, you would expect the people to win if they remain resolute and united, Abi. That is the point I'm making, that these guys, they are willing and ready to take Nigeria down with them. And that would be probably prayer answered, in my own view. So, Gandola being sacrificed for something bigger, and the expected reaction from their supposed north, the permutation, the alignment, the realignment are all ongoing right now. It is about 20 months, plus or minus, no, not plus, minus or exact. It's about 20 months to your 2027 charade. And to some, Tifnumbu and his gang have perfected what it is going to be like. And as we speak, they are setting what is called the stage for it. That everybody would have to play by their rules, by the way they want you to play by. I mean, but it shouldn't be so. So the conversation right now around this, their coalition talk or no coalition talk, the possibility and the rest of that people have been spewing everywhere and all that, is that for every of their coalition talk, Peter Obi's name keeps, popping up. Peter Obi, Atiku. No, Amechi, Rufai. The different names have been being kind of touted everywhere. But for every of those names they have been mentioned, there is always that Peter Obi. But in reality, it is believed that Peter Obi is not, should I say, is neither with nor without this coalition thing. It is also believed that he hasn't even given them his position. Like, I am going to be part of it. Currently, Abure and others, they are holding Labour Party. And in fairness, Peter Obi knew, especially you, the Obidients, banking on the last Supreme Court judgment, all right, which is interpreted as, Nenandi Usman is the acting chairman of Labour Party, right? Meanwhile, Abure and his gang are also interpreting the Supreme Court judgment as Abure remained the chairman. So in this confusion, so you are not sure if Peter Obi is going to be allowed to run on Labour Party. It's not certain now. And even if they choose to, the saboteurs or those who are ready to sabotage him are no longer wearing masks. They are in the open. So in all of this, so a lot of people are pretty much, or should I say a lot of people? Well, a lot of people are trying to understand, where is Peter Obi in all of this? He's talking tough. He's everywhere. He hasn't said if he's going to run for any presidency or not. And since he hasn't said anything like that, so you can just easily just associate him with the Labour Party and say, okay, he's in Labour Party. But understanding all these other factors, right, that will make you then be like, oh, that's a problem. Presently, those who became what? Because of the obedient wave, majority of them have come to APC as we speak. The obedient movement themselves, as I can confirm, have been creating their own representatives in different local government areas and the rest of that in such a way that, according to them, they are preparing a structure that will not only mobilize for Obi, a structure that will stand, defend, and protect Obi's vote. So, in that regard, so they are giving this, they are giving this vibe of Obi can go it alone. But there are those who are, political analysts and observers who believes that if Obi tries that, Tinubu won't have to do much. He should just go ahead with his plan because that simply gives him a bit of a leverage. They want him to say something like join their coalition. Now, joining coalition on his own, from the publicly available info, joining the coalition itself may end up pitting Peter Obi against his own base. Because there are those who are from the middle belt part of Nigeria who believes that associating with El Rufai to help El Rufai gain access back to power, corridors of power, could actually spell doom for the people of Southern Kaduna and the people of the Middle Belt. So because of their experience with El Rufai, Obi should not associate with him. So, and if he ended up having to go into coalition that El Rufai is involved, they will cut their relationship. This one, those who have said that they have been called emotionally weak people because in politics, it is the good, the bad, the ugly. The good, the bad, the ugly. The guy who is responsible for illegal arrest, illegal trial, illegal detention of thousands of Nigerians who spoke against Boko Haram, the same guy who pushed different other agendas, including the agendas to give the Fulani terrorists a leeway, a freedom after murdering thousands of Nigerians. So the good, the bad, the ugly. So you would have to deal with that. So there are those who are obedient, who feels like, but others says, hey, don't be too emotional. Don't be a baby, man. In politics, you have to mix with everybody if you want to. Now, that's a dilemma. You may admit it, you may not admit it. The one thing there is that there are people who feel concerns. And I want to pretend that this possibly is the reason why Obi is not forthcoming to say he's part of this or that, except for those who are speaking for him. He's intelligent. He has some information that all of you don't have, this and that. Baba, you have 20 months to challenge the monster that is about to send everybody back into slavery in a very, very, harsh way. So it will be ideal to actually make your supporters know where is it going to be like. But others said, did you not see that in 9 months he defeated Tifnubu and the system? That's where David then comes in. David, his own way, right? So it was pretty much like firing everybody to say, this is not a joke. This is a life and death thing. Your future, this and that. And he's already painted what it is going to end up like once Tifnubu gets his second term. So if you have to work with even Satan, I'm not talking about the Satan of Shokoto, but the main Satan, David Udeyi doesn't mind, because Tifnubu, a CIA covert psyop or something in Nigeria, who is working with the West and other enemies of the people to help put Nigeria in a 40-year-long kind of like Israeli-Egypt kind of experience in the Bible, So he feels like Tifnubu, number one, shouldn't have had power. Now that he has the power, everybody should actually do everything that no matter the evil you see, or no matter, sure you get David, but many others disagrees. But again, these are people who are going to end up, sure you get, pulling whatever whatever kind of like agenda and advocacy enough to get rid of Tifnubu as So they're asking Peter Obi to say it now. Others are saying, no, don't force him. Here you get. Leave him alone. And when they see Obi with these guys, there are some of them, this particular picture, by the way, like if you are a Biafran, you won't like Obi. And I kind of understand. So you get, that's the guy that's organized and submitted fake intel to Kenya in order for them to help him kidnap Nnamdi Kanu. Now they kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu and then bundled him to Nigeria to violate international law. So somebody like that is a criminal. He's not just a criminal who used his position to persecute Nigerians. Do you know how many Nigerians who are still languishing in prison right now because of that Malamu, because of this guy? Yeah? But I said it before. If you are an obedient that is asking for one Nigeria, as much as to people like us is a delusion. So people like us see you as somebody who is deluded. But hang on, your delusion sometimes can possibly, lead to something even more, promising. Because in the state of that, your ignorance, all right, there's a chance that you have the seizable number to overrun these criminals who can automatically what's that called again? Like, kind of overlook whatever potential you may have, kind of downgrade you and all. It's all good. It all plays well. But I also said that in your course of wanting for your one Nigeria and all that, you would have to end up supporting the same criminals that committed horrible crimes against you. And what are these horrible crimes? One of them is that of the NSAS. For those who remember that time very well, people who are responsible for that should never be seen in a room with people who are saying they want to redeem Nigeria. But here you are. People who are responsible for funding terrorists, rehabilitating them, renaming villages that are invaded by terrorists. Somebody like El Rufaya and co. It shouldn't be in any room at all. It should be in prison. But in your course of looking for one better Nigeria, you would have to stand up and defend El Rufaya. So me, I'm used to that kind of switch among all of you. But the reason why I think, this may be the time that the entire thing we shall, go up in smoke. So something must probably lead to that. So at the end of the day, the people you called criminals, destroyers of that contraption, you are going to have to line behind them because, as they say, you all have common enemy now. And that common enemy is Tifnubu. So now let's see how far they can get rid of him. Whatever the theory is, though. Now let's leave that for a second. Just for a second. Sorry, I found this one, the Gandola stuff. Have you seen this? It's a picture, though. It's also AI.
No, me can do this video. No, me can do this video.
So I saw that somebody used an AI to get the, to get that